Hello, everyone. We are going to start soon our last troubleshooting, or final troubleshooting webinar for the Action Network call. I hope you can hear me well. I'm Irina Rotado. I'm project officer at the urbact secretariat. And I'm here together with my colleague, Evgenia Strati, and also with our head of unit, Clémentine Gravier. And this is the last occasion for you to ask a question regarding the Action Network call. So as each time, we are going to follow the same house rules. So please change your Zoom name by right-clicking on your video, so to selecting rename and also putting your name and the name of the city. So this is important for us so that we know whom we are talking to. Then please have in mind that this meeting is recording and this webinar is intended for the lead partners who will be in charge of submitting the application answering to the Action Network call. And all the recordings are going to be, of course, published on our website in the usual session. Now we are going to highlight some key aspects that are very relevant for this course, so inspired by the questions that we have received lately, so that you are aware of what are the key aspects that you need to have in mind. And then we are going to take questions. So the most important to have in mind is that we are having a dedicated page on our website, urbact.eu, get involved, where you can find everything, the terms of reference, the guidance, the synergy guidance, and also the recording of the previous sessions, and also the question and the answers to the most frequent questions and the questions from the previous webinars. So please take a look each time there and also read especially the synergy guidance before starting to fill in your application in Synergy. So now we need to come to the eligibility requirements that are key to be respected. So most of them are regarding the partnership. You should know by now that each network should include between 6 and 8 partners, that candidate lead partner can only be a candidate lead partner of one Action Network proposal, and it can be, in addition, a project partner in another network. So a beneficiary can be a partner in maximum 2 approved network in the frame of this call. A partnership cannot include more than 1 partner from the same country, and your partnership can also include maximum 1 non-city partner. Here I'm stopping to recall you as well that non-city partners are regular partners, so they are expected to deliver the same outputs on local level as city partners. They are not considered as some kind of exceptional partners, support partners, or in some other way. So they have the same statute, role, and obligation as the city partners. Here we also have a rule regarding the fact that at least half of the partners need to be from EU member states, and a partnership can also include maximum 1 partner either from IPA, either from NIDICI countries. Of course, as well as we are encouraging you to have a diverse partnership, and we are welcoming also the new partners in the urbact program, but these are not compulsory requirements. So this is only a recommendation that is not going to influence the the eligibility conditions of your network. Then there are overall generic requirements that regards to the application package that needs to be submitted in English, of course, respecting the procedure outlined in the terms of reference within the notified deadline. The application package needs to be complete, of course, with all the documents that are referred to in the terms of reference. And you are also including the application form in Synergy, the letters of commitment from the partners that are needing to be filled in properly and also signed and completely as indicated in the terms of reference. And all letters need to use the official templates and according to the instructions. Also, these rules that are regarding the partnerships that I just listed previously in the previous slide, and all candidates are eligible according to the urbact program rules. So you had the opportunity to check this together by writing to us, and we are checking with the national authorities that are the ones that are confirming the eligibility of the partners. This time we don't have a geographical balance that is requested regarding less developed or more developed or transition regions. So this, you do not need to bother with this. Regarding the questions that we had, there were a lot concerning the strategies and actions plans and respectively actions. So what is important to retain is that the strategies or action plans need to be in place, so need to be drafted, completed, and ready for implementation. And we don't request you to upload some documents, some justificatives regarding these strategies or action plans, but what we are expecting is that you are clearly describing in the application form for each one of the strategies or action plans, when it was issued, in which context, how it has been developed, how it answered to the local needs and priorities, and how it relates with the proposed action to be implemented. So you would need to be very specific on a given topic and also indicating the actions to implement, that they need to be very clear since the beginning of the application. That can be refined only in the first phase of the network, but it's not that they are going to be drafted then. So they need to already exist in the action plan that is taken as reference for the application. So the actions, they build on an existing local strategy on policy framework or integrated action plan and contribute to its advancement or implementation. They are practical intervention that improve the way of addressing urban challenges while remaining in the limited budget and duration of the network. So you have to consider the conditions that you are having. So they need to remain feasible in this context. And of course, as we are following the principle of the urbact program, they need to generate practical insight and evidence that are relevant for the subject of the network. Also, it's important to record the network deliverables that are at not local level and also at network level. There are a certain number of deliverables that are compulsory. So a certain number of, for example, the transnational network meetings, you need to have minimum 5. When you are having this line, then you are putting in, I'm referring to the Synergy application form, you are putting the exact number of meetings, and then you have a box in which you can describe in more details. You can also add some customized set of exchange and learning and communication activities, but having these types of predefined elements. Of course, in the description that you need to be specific, giving as many information as you already have. At local level, you are having the urbact local group, the action portfolio, and actions implemented. What I would like to recall you to answer, there were many questions regarding the budget, and we are going to discuss afterwards more in details about the budget. So no indicative budget should be provided for deliverables, just overall budget, because in Synergy, because the form in Synergy is for more programs. So you have some tabs that you do not need to fill in, but this is very clearly explained in the guidance and also in the guiding messages that you are having on Synergy. Now coming to the budget, to discuss it more in details, we have two main rules. So the general rule that it's also valid for all the urbact calls, so that it's written clearly in the program manual, that the budget spent on project coordination, in this case, staff costs for action, and respectively external expertise for project coordination, can be up to maximum 40% of the budget on network level. And the second rule that is specific to this call is that the budget for the action should be 50% on network level, and preferably also at partner level, but here you have a certain flexibility. Then, when considering the budget for the actions, you have three categories. So you have budget that can be correspond under staff costs for action, external expertise for action, and equipment for action. What I would like to recall you here is that action labs and ULG meetings are part of the project methodologies, but they are not considered actions themselves. So the budget that is needed for the ULG meetings, for example, cannot be considered in the overall budget for the action. So it's something that it's part of the network budget, but it's not considered in these categories that it's when you are calculating the budget for action. Then here you have the outline of the main components of the application form. I will not insist on this. I just wanted to show you because this was presented previously. If there will be a question, we will go further on this. So this is for you to have in mind what is needed for the application form. And the idea is that we have published also a Word template of the application form for you to prepare the answer already, so that when you are filling in the application form in Synergy, so that it's easier for you. Regarding the submission procedure for the application form, you have two steps required. So first of all, it's the online submission of the application form through Synergy system. And the deadline for this is 17th of June until 3 p.m. Central European time. And afterwards, you will receive an automatic submission email confirming your submission. And the following day, you need, so the limit is until the following day at the same time, so 18th of June until the latest 3 p.m. Central European time, you need to submit the application package. To send the application package to the an at urbact.eu. So the application package, it's including the signed PDF of the application generated through Synergy that needs to be signed by the project coordinator, the lead partner, the signed letters of commitment from all the partners in the network. They need to be signed by the legal representative of each one of the project partners and of the lead partner. And also, you need to submit the CV of the project coordinator at the lead partner. So please be mindful, because if you are not submitting this is among the eligibility requirements that are considered in order to consider your application valid and eligible, and to be possible to evaluate it. As I was saying before, regarding the Synergy application, you are having a practical guide that explains to you point by point very clearly how to create your account, how to create the organizations, how to insert each part of your application. So please read it carefully before starting the application, or before doing each one of the steps. Please read it. You are finding it on our website to get involved, where you are finding all the materials on regarding this call. So please, this is your Bible when you are filling in, because this avoids you a lot of losing time and having troubles when filling in the application form. Then I wanted to recall you about the state aid rules, that you need to fill in a survey regarding the state aid. And you are having also a specific guidance that is explaining you exactly how you need to do this. This needs to be filled in by lead partner as well as by each project partner, candidate lead project partner. And it's important to fill in by the deadline of the call. This is not an eligibility request, but we strongly recommend it to fill it as soon as possible, and preferably before the end of the call, because it's something that is needed in order to be able to receive funding. Now I would like to recall you to close this small information about the key elements. So I will recall you about the timeline of the call. So it opened on the 17th of March. We are going to close it on the 17th of June, when it's the deadline to submit application via Synergy. And then on the following day, you need to send your application package through email. Then, lasting June and August, we are going to do the eligibility check and assessment of the proposal. On the 28th of October, there is the approval by the monitoring committee. So the approved networks, the ones that are going to be funded, are being approved by the monitoring committee. Then on the 1st November is the official start of the network, of the action networks. Starting from this date, we are going to select also the network lead experts. And in January 2027, we are going to have the kickoff meeting in Paris, where we are going to invite the lead partners and lead experts of each one of the newly approved action networks. So that is all on my side. And I will now I will invite you to tell me if you have some questions. So Evgenia, please let me know if you are having some questions in the chat.
Yes. Yes, Irina, we have some questions in the chat. Some of them have been answered already, but I will pick those who have not been answered. And let's see. So we have a question. Can a formally approved departmental strategic plan be considered an eligible policy framework for a non-city partner if it is specific, already in place, and the proposed action clearly builds on it? So if a formally approved departmental strategic plan can be considered.
Yes, of course.
an
So
eligible
the
policy.
idea is that it's a plan that it's referring to the respective territory. If it's specific and it has all the it's in place, it's ready to be implemented. It's also related to the topic of the network. Of course, it can be.
Okay, thank you, Rina. Okay, there are many other questions. Just I'm not sure I understood. Can you send the first page of the application? It's the main elements of the application are an annex of the terms of reference, and you can find them on the website. I don't know if this question comes from a candidate lead partner or not. If you can specify what you mean
Yes, in
more
fact,
precisely.
I presume they were referring to the template for the application form that is published on our website. That it's listing the topics that are the chapters that we are finding in on synergy. So
Yeah.
and also in the guidance, in the synergy guidance, you are finding listed all the chapters and how to fill in each one of the parts. What is the information that is expected to be filled in?
Thank you, Rina. So yeah, there's a question on the state aid that was. It comes from an action planning network lead partner. The state aid was recently submitted. Do we have to resubmit?
In fact, if I understanding correctly, the question is that as partner in an action planning networks, you need to submit a stated survey answer, an answer to the stated survey. So they are asking if for this new call they need to submit another one.
Yeah.
For now, we did not have this situation yet, but please submit it again to be sure that you are having it covered. So normally I don't know if we did not have this situation, but I think it's better to stay on the safe side and submit it. But before submitting it, please read the guidance, the specific guidance to that referring to the state aid, so that you are making sure you are taking into consideration this specific, and your answer are relevant. And in fact, as it's a new activity, you should in fact, in each case, it's needed to be submitted because it refers to the new call, to the activities that you are taking in the new calls, that if there is a risk of state aid. So it's not the same as for because the timing is different, and also the situation of your partner might be different. You are receiving different types of funding, and you are submitting this reply to the survey in relation to this new operation that it's the action network.
Okay. We have another question. Could you please clarify how the project is financially administered? Is the project period divided into semesters? And are we able to submit reimbursement claims for eligible expenses incurred at the end of each semester?
Well, it's you are having you are going to receive your the timeline of your project. We are having not exactly semester, it's 1 year time for the submission of so you are having a certain reporting period for the expenditure. First one, it's after half a year, and then you are having after a year, and then because your network is 2.5 years, so you are having 3 reporting periods, and you can declare from the during the first reporting period, you can declare the cost incurred from the start of the project until the starting of the first reporting period, and then for the following one, you are going to be able to also declare costs from the previous reporting periods that could not be declared or were not declared. So I'm recalling that the urbact program is functioning as on the basis of reimbursement. So you need to advance some costs, some money to make some expenditure, and then you are going to report it and to be reimbursed.
Okay. The next question is about a non-city partner. So for a non-city partner, such as a university department, should the action be implemented mainly within its own institutional/local ecosystem? Can it also include methodological support and transfer tools for the partner cities?
So here we are coming to the issue of city partner, not city partner. I'm recalling that these non-city partners are having the same status, the same role as city partners. So they need to implement an action. They cannot serve as like support partners to produce. Of course, their action can refer to the producing some guidance that it's applicable at local level and can also serve to the other partners. This is completely possible. The only thing is that this action, so the production of the respective tools for methodological tools, needs to be included already in an action plan or a strategy that it's at local level and relevant at local level and makes sense also in the frame of the network.
Next question comes from, it's related to IPA, so countries. Is there any specific points we should pay attention to when the lead partner is an IPA partner from Serbia, especially regarding budget, co-financing, reporting, or signature requirements?
Not necessarily. They are going to be, if there are some specific aspects, they are going to be communicated. So it's not something that needs to be considered at this stage.
Okay, let me check a little bit more. There are several questions I'm not repeating because they are being answered in the chat. We have a question on the 40% project management, Irina. Can you explain again how it is calculated?
The 40% project management, as I said, it refers to the staff costs, so all the costs that are included in the staff cost category, staff costs for action, and also external expertise. In external expertise, you are having many subcategories, and you have a budget, a subcategory referring to project coordination. So you need to consider only that the money that is in that category, the budget that it's on that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's at the level of the network. This is considered. So at the level, the overall budget, you are having also the template that would be provided you so that you are having this as a tool. You can calculate everything. And you have also the guidance that it's written there so that to help you calculate the overall budget and make sure you are respecting all the requirements.
Okay. There is a question for a clarification of the commitment letter. So in the end of the template of the commitment letter for the lead partner, it's mentioned, to this end, we also formally commit to engaging the funds needed to co-finance the IRDF/different funds. What do you mean by this?
In fact, as the urbact program is not financing at 100%. So depending on your region you are in the development region in which the respective partner is located. So if it's more developed, less developed, or transition region, or if it's EPA or NEDC country, you are having different levels of funding. So ERDF, for example, for the partners who are in more developed countries, they are receiving 30%. The ones that are in less developed countries, they are receiving 80%. So you are declaring all the entire costs that you are incurring, but you are going to be reimbursed only up to the amount that it's stated in your, depending on your development region. For example, if you are in a more developed country, you are going to be reimbursed. If your city is located in a more developed region, you are going to be reimbursed at the level of 60% or 80% if you are in less developed region.
Okay, I think that's all for now, Irina.
Okay. We can wait a bit more if you are having some more questions, or if not, because we still have some time, and it's important to really cover all the questions that might arise at this moment. What I would also want to recall you is that when filling in your application in Synergy, please take more time to be sure that you have enough time to fill everything in. So don't start in the last minute. Also because you need to create, to find if they are not already created the different organization and the contact and so on. So I'm recalling you that if you already, there are many situations, if you already have an account on Synergy, you can use it, but depending if you have a lead partner account that you use for a previous network, you can use it directly. If not, you can update it as if I have an account for a simple partner, you can use it always, but it will be updated to so that you are able to use it as a lead partner. But in any case, you can only use one account. So this is very important to recall. So you can share among different persons, but you cannot input information in the same time, for example. And it's preferably that if you are having some help, it's preferably that the respective contact it's within the partner organization. And this is the only way that you are going to be able to access your application before submitting it and during the assessment phase. And what I wanted to recall you as well is to read very carefully the Synergy guidance before starting to fill in the application, because we had some cases in which some organizations were introduced as sub-departments of the main organization. So there was some complication because the guidance was not respected. So read very carefully each step. And if you are respecting it, it's going to be perfect. And don't leave everything for the last moment.
Irina, we have some more questions in the chat.
Okay.
So there is again a question about the state aid. So is it normal that they have not received the confirmation email after completing the state aid survey? A partner is asking.
Well, this was a bug that was already notified to the persons who are in charge of the IT issues. So this was already notified and will be checked. But if you have filled in, it should be okay. If there is an issue with it, we will come back to you on this.
We have one more question about the commitment letter. When it comes to describing how the partner will address the specific challenge as a project partner, and the question is, can they individualize their answers? Can they fill in this part in an individualized manner, or that we expect a uniform phrase?
Well, yes, you can, depending, you can refer to the activity or the strategies that you are going to the strategy or action plan that you are going to consider for this project, and you can let's say customize this part, but only this part, the template, the rest of the common part, and also the template in the sense of the elements that are being contained there, and the signature and everything need to respect the format and the guidance.
A question on the application in the work plan section. Can you please further clarify the sections on localization, place, and results labels, especially localization? So something is not clear there. Just, sorry, Irina, if you can also take the floor to express your questions orally if you prefer. But let's, try to see this one, Irina.
Localization, so you are individualizing the city where this takes place. So you don't absolutely need to describe very much in details a certain place where you are going to implement the activity. You can, for this moment, for this stage, you can only indicate the city, so the partner where this is taking place, the respective action. And then in the description, you are explaining more in detail, for example, that it's a certain place that you have already identified, or that there are very specific place where this activity is going to be implemented is going to be defined when you are having, let's say, 3 options, or you are also describing clearly the state where you are for this with this. But the activity needs to be quite clearly described in the application form already.
Okay, thank you very much, Irina. Some questions are being asked and replied. There are questions on equipment and regarding equipment costs for local actions, are only depreciation costs eligible? Well, here, I think it depends when, but it depends on the equipment and when it is purchased, but
yes,
I
this
don't know
is
if you
quite a
have...
specific question. So maybe you can, we had already some answers on this in the question and answers already published. But if you have more details, please write to us and we'll come back to you. And we also, after this session, we are going to publish the recording, and also we are going to publish, as usually, the question and answer file. And if you can come with more details, this would help. If you have some other questions, or if you need if you have some specific elements to provide to the questions already given, you can write always to an urbact.eu as usually, so our generic address.
Again, a question on state aid. Should a partner that participates in 2 proposals submit the state aid form twice?
If there are differences in the budget, because it refers also to the type of activities. So the state aid questionnaire refers also to the type of activities that you are taking, and if we are generating profit or not, and if we are, so I would suggest that you are filling in for the because you are also indicating the proposal for which you are submitting the state aid reply.
I see Clementine has answered, so in principle, no, it's okay. I see the application can be signed digitally. I guess it is also okay to sign by hand and then scan. Yes.
Yes, indeed. It can work both ways. So you can retrieve the PDF version of your application form from Synergy, and then you can sign it digitally, or you can print it, sign it, and then scan it and send it to us.
And one question, just to confirm, at application stage, are the only formal legal documents required from each project partner the signed letter of commitment and the completed state aid self-assessment, or are there any additional documents or declarations that partners must provide before submission?
In fact, we are not expecting you that you are submitting some state aid questionnaire, that the proof that you have already filled in. So you need to. We are retrieving it digitally. So we are receiving your questionnaire. So we are associating then that you have filled in. But indeed, you need to submit your letters of commitment that are signed by a legal representative. This is also very important. And this is the eligibility criteria. So please do it. You need to, as lead partner, candidate lead partner, you need to gather all the letters of commitment from your project partners and make sure that you have them well in advance so that you can submit everything in the due time.
Okay, we'll move on. There is also a question about so being partners in several urbact networks, and more specifically, if I'm already part of 2 transfer networks as a project partner, can I apply to be a lead partner of a project or a project partner in this call? If my application is successful, I will be part of 3 or more urbact networks. Is this possible?
Yes, it is definitely possible. When we are referring to these limitations that you can participate in maximum 2 networks, is that in the frame of this call, but in the frame of the previous course, you can be of course, partner. So in the frame of each call is this rule.
Okay. Yeah. Again, on non-city partners, I think we have answered this. So if a non-city partner is also expected to have a local strategy and implement a local/pilot actions similarly to city partners.
Yes.
So it is confirmed. Okay, synergy question. When we work on adding main elements, is it possible to work on the partners sheet? Sorry, yeah, I'm just checking because at the same time we have answers coming in. Okay, main elements. Sorry, I lost the question because there were others coming in. Yeah. So is it possible to work on the partners sheet, then go to deliverables, then go back to partners to complement or change some info there? It was not very clear from the Synergy Guide whether it is important to go step by step within this stage as well, or is it just important to add main elements first?
No, you can fill in just part of it and then come back and continue to fill in. But it's we are recommending also to prepare in advance and to fill in step by step so that not to miss something. In any case, you are if you are writing some text, so below the box in which we are writing the text, you are having a box that you can stick if you have finished inputting the information there or not. So if you are not ticking that box, you are being recalled that you did not put all the information there. But in any case, as I said, we are suggesting you to fill in step by step and also prepare in advance to be sure that you did not miss anything. But you have before submitting the application, you have the possibility to edit it. Even if you have you finished to input information in one box, you can come back and input information if you record something else or if you want to change something. But of course, in the limit of you need also to recall that you need to have in mind the limits that it's allowed for. We have some word limit, the number of characters that you can input for each one of the topics.
Does Synergy signal us if we did not fill in something in the application form before pushing the submit button?
Yes.
You know in the guidance that before pushing the submit button, you have to click on coherence test, coherence check. So this is a button also in Synergy that checks the overall coherence and checks for gaps in the application. Right, Irina?
Right. Exactly.
A follow-up question about, no, this is, about in case of a lead partner having several, if a partner, let me put it from the beginning, if a partner applies to several urbact action network proposals and more than 2 of them are approved, so the partner has to choose a maximum of 2. This is clear. And what happens next? So if the partner then decides not to remain in one approved network, one of the approved networks, how does it work? Would the lead partner be allowed to replace the partner during the activation stage, provided that the replacement respects all the eligibility and partnership rules? Yes, this is possible.
Yes, in fact, when you are, we are strongly encouraging you to focus on the applications that are more relevant for your organizations, for your city. But if you are applying to more networks, let's say, and more of them are, all of them are selected, you will need to choose between 2. And in some situations, in order to prevent that a network remains with too few partners, we might request you to privilege a certain network, for example. So we might also request you specifically to stay in one network in order to prevent some complicated situations. And of course, in the activation phase, it will be the possibility for the lead partner who has lost one partner to replace it, while respecting, of course, the eligibility criteria and also having a partner that is relevant for the respective networks. It's always important to keep in mind the coherence of the partnership.
Yeah, it's useful to have in mind, not have a waiting list, but from the contacts that you're now having with different potential partners, maybe to have in mind a partner that could step in case a partner drops off because of being partners in more than 2 approved networks. Okay. There was an answer that was, there is a section in Synergy. Section 3, rationale of proposed partnership for 3.1, the profile of the lead partner city, and 3.2, profile of the partner cities, this part of the application. So the lead partner appears also in 3.2. Do we have to copy paste the same information on both? This is something that it's indeed the case in Synergy. So yes, you can copy paste the same information.
Yes, this is an isolated situation. So for the other boxes, for the other chapters of the application form, please try to produce individual answers, not to copy paste the same information. This is a specific situation. It's a problem that we had in Synergy, and indeed it's a case that the lead partner also appears in the among the project partners, and there it's the only case where you can copy paste the same information.
Okay. Thank you, Rina. Yes. Yes, again, the same question about the first page of the application. Something is not clear there, but I lost the first page of the application. Can you send me? Did you have you checked the documents on the website? I mean, if you have a problem with this, maybe you can write us and explain.
Yes, because at the moment I don't clearly understand what is it about. So if you can explain now more clearly, or if not, to come back to us by email.
Okay.
I think now we have finished all the questions. Or
There are not new questions right now
okay.
in the chat. If anyone would still like to ask something, you can also take the floor. Now that we are still online. Yeah, application form. Should it be signed by the coordinator? No, but this has already been answered. So the application form should be signed by the project coordinator. Yes. And additionally by the director or anybody else, but the project coordinator should be the person signing the application form. Where can I find, this is on the state aid, where can I find the project reference number for the state aid survey?
This is, in fact, this is when you are starting the Synergy application, you are being provided automatically a number for the application, and then you are communicating also to your project partners, and you are using for your own state aid questionnaire.
Is it necessary to add bank details for each partner in Synergy? The Synergy guide mentions that it is possible, but is it mandatory?
This is not mandatory in this at this stage, but you will need to add them later on.
So yeah, better that it's done already. But yeah, at this stage, you can move on with the application without this being filled out. But have it in mind because it should be. Yeah, later on. Okay. Right. Right. I think everything has been answered, and just another one coming in, just to make sure we understood correctly. ULG meetings and action labs are considered part of the urbact methodology and not actions themselves. This is right. However, if these meetings are directly linked to the design, testing, or implementation of pilot actions, can the related costs still be included under staff external expertise for action? Staff/external expertise for action.
Well, in fact, the ULG meetings and the action labs are some activities that are related to the project. So implicitly, they are related also to the actions. Only that we are not considering it in the budget. So these are more capacity building, learning activities. So they are contributing. That's true that they are contributing for the implementation of the action, but they are not considered as part of the implementation of action itself. And the logic of this call is that you are having 50% of the total budget of the network dedicated to the action, to the implementation of the action. The refinement of the actions, it's something that it's something different, that we are considering that it's part of the other work that you are doing in the frame of the network. That's it. Why you are not supposed to consider this budget that is dedicated for the preparatory work as budget for implementation of the action.
Okay, thank you, Irina. We are, yeah, I don't see new questions coming in. Some details about synergy. Yeah, one contact should be filled in for each partner. This is mandatory at this stage, and then you can add the rest of the contacts.
Okay,
Persons.
we are almost reaching the time of when we are finishing this webinar. 3 more minutes if you have some questions. If not, we are wishing you the best of luck with your applications. And if you have some further questions, don't hesitate to come back to us by email. Thank you a lot for your time being with us. Thank you for your questions, and we are waiting for your applications. Bye-bye.